All right, what's up everyone? Welcome back to the channel. It's that time here in Massachusetts, up in New England. The ice is almost out. We're almost done being locked up. We are in the eastern part of the state, but it's time. The boat's home, getting the boat ready, and we're gonna get out there. We're gonna go east here in a few days, but that's not what we want to talk about today. So as many of you know, I went to a new boat at the middle of the season last year. Got rid of my Skeeter, had a Skeeter FXR 20. Liked the boat. I loved the boat until I started to have a ton of issues. With it. And that's when I was like, nope, time to go. Warranty was going to be up soon, or in a year or so, and it was just time. With that being said, I haven't gone or done a review of the boat I got. I mean, social media, all that, you guys know the type of boat that I got, the brand, the model, but I haven't really talked about it here on YouTube. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to go through the entire boat. I'm going to give you my non-biased pros and cons, what I like, what I don't like, what I wish they had done better, differently, just an impartial opinion. We're going to go from there. See you in a minute. I took a leap. I took a chance. I bought an iKon. Bought an iKon LX21. I have the 2024 model. I bought it last year. I purchased this one from Thayer's Marine down in Connecticut. They gave me a great deal on it. And yeah, we're going to go through the boat from bow to stern, and we're just going to talk about it. I'm going to tell you what I like. I'm going to tell you things I might not like. And just go over some of the features, some of the options, just some of the things they've done to try to make this boat the best boat in the market. Again, I have no affiliation with iKon. It's my impartial opinion as to, how I feel about this boat. So stick around and find out how I really feel about my 2024 iKon LX21. So my iKon LX21 comes with a Boatmate trailer. So Boatmate trailer, this is a steel trailer. I apologize. The thing's dirty. It's not clean. She just came out of storage. I'm just trying to fix some things up. But I have the metal fenders for this year. I'm sorry, I think it was maybe the end of 2024, beginning of 2025. They started offering fiberglass trailer fenders. Didn't want those. I like the metal. Fiberglass is just another thing to friggin' scratch and have to get repaired. So didn't do that. So if we start in the front, got the steps here. I absolutely love the steps, especially for me, getting kind of older. Fulton winch. So I got the Fulton winch, the XLT comes with the boat. I love that winch. We got the Fulton jack here, trailer jack. This is the 1600. I'm going to be 100% honest. I'm not a huge fan of this thing. It just, I don't know. It just part of me feels like I need to get another one, get a different one. I'm no mechanic. I'm no expert. There's a reason why I have other people do all my work on my boats. I'm going to sit here and I'm going to talk about this shit, and I might say the terms wrong, and it just is what it is. I'm not a mechanic, especially not a boat mechanic. So anywho, back to the jack. So Fulton jack, all blacked out, which is cool, but man, I don't like the play in the jack. I mean, you can even kind of see it right there. I don't like the play. Maybe it's normal, maybe it's not. You guys can let me know in the comments. Tell me what you think. Got my spare tire there. So I do have the Moto metal wheels on this. I'm actually going to swap that one out with one of my ones over here because I got a little bit of curb rash on a ramp at the end of last year. Bugged the hell out of me. I think it looks like shit, and I don't want to buy a new wheel right now. So I'm just going to swap it out and make the curb rash one my spare. So yeah, so that's your trailer. I mean, it's a trailer. I mean, I don't really care about the trailer as long as it gets my boat to and from where I need to go. So let's climb on the boat here real quick using my handy dandy steps. All right. So front of the boat here. So I'm running 2 graphs. I'm running a Humminbird and a Garmin. I'm actually running helixes. Kind of wish I ran the Solixes, but I know there's been issues with the Solix, with the networking with the rest of the boat. So I just went ahead and got the Helix because I know there wasn't many problems with that. I'm running the live scope as well. So I forget, I'm going to be honest, I forget which model this is. It's a newer model for last year. This one's touchscreen. It's strictly for my live scope. That's all I use that for. Do have a Minn Kota Ultrex. I do not have the Quest. Thought about upgrading that, but it's been working fine for me. Plenty of power. So yeah, I'll probably stick with it till it dies. I do run a right height turret as well as the Mega 360. The right height turret, I'm gonna be honest, I hate that thing. I'm probably gonna go to the DD26. Pedals right here. I have so many issues with this pedal, with it sticking, and I haven't even put it in a permanent position yet because for one or two reasons I keep saying I'm gonna get something else, and I just haven't figured out where I want to put it yet, to be honest. But yeah, so cool thing about the boat. Let's talk more about the boat than the accessories. So what I like here is I have 2 graphs. Thought about going to a third this season, but with everything going on with the tournaments, like, giving you a max and like how many inches of screen you can have and like live scope and everything, I figured I'd just stick to 2 for at least for now, and we'll go from there. But plenty of room up here. Cool thing I like about this, I could still use my cup with 2 graphs. I could still use my cup holders. Couldn't do that before on the Skeeter when I had 2 graphs. I lost my cup holders immediately. I'm up here in Massachusetts, got to have my Dunkins, so I always have my iced coffees, water, whatever up there. So up here, I don't have the radio on this boat. So typically, a lot of the iKons, I believe it's like radio, the Bluetooth radio option switch is here. Here, I mean, for what I do all my recording and whatever, there is so much space for USB ports and power to whatever, camera systems, charging, whatever. Motor up, motor down, my lights, and this button's pretty cool. We'll talk about this later, but I preset my live well settings, and then this will turn it on to whatever I preset the settings to be at the console. So I can just turn the live well on and off from here. I'm running power poles on this boat. So I just got my stomp switches right there. On my Skeeter, I ran Raptors. I'll be honest, I kind of like the Raptors a little bit better. They seem to kind of lock me in a little bit better. But the power poles got the job done. So it came with the boat. I wasn't going to have them swap one for the other, especially at the time I hadn't used power poles. I'd only used the Raptors. I was also surprised by it because, the Minn Kota and Humminbird, they have that one boat network. So I would have thought they just would have went with the Raptors and all the iKons, but they didn't. So next, the video is not going to do it justice, but the deck space on this thing is absolutely insane. I mean, it's like an aircraft carrier. You could like land a helicopter on the front of this deck. I mean, I'm 5'10" on a good day, and I mean, I could just actually can just lay across this entire deck. You know, my feet are on the edge, and you know, I could reach up, and I barely have enough. I mean, I might have an extra inch when I put my arms all the way out. It's just a crazy wide deck. Padded. The entire deck is padded on the LX. The new VLXs, I believe, just the top portion is padded. Comfortable deck. It's, you know, I mean, the padding helps when you're standing on the deck all day, every day. So next, apartments. So on here, on the port side, I use, you know, this, you know, the rod locker. The rod locker is absolutely gigantic. I mean, I don't know if you can see down there, but it's just huge. The rod locker is absolutely huge. I mean, I probably have 40 rods in this thing at any given time, and I probably have room for another 20 at least. Just got a drain in here to drain out just in case. Cool thing about the iKons is you can see it here. They have this channel system here. Okay, so I don't know if you see that, but you see the channel system and then a drain. So this alleviates from water getting into your boxes virtually at all, into your compartments at all. I have yet to have water get into my compartments. So basically it all, you know, just, I don't know the science and the engineering behind it, but all the water flows down these channels, and this is drainage that goes through the entire boat that ends up, you know, going to the back of your boat into the drain plug or bilge or whatever. And got my thing caught in here. All right, so let's go to the other side here. See here my new BKK OCD box that just came in. I'm messing with, so I think I still have some stuff in here. Yep, so I saw a bunch of stuff in here. So again, we got your starboard storage. I got my nav light here. I got a bunch of stuff. I mean, I usually put, you know, extra life jackets, my throwables in here, my live scope boxes in there. So, again, the channel system here. Typical storage. You know, nothing crazy. It's just a ton of it. So here I have my day box. Bunch of stuff in there. Don't want you guys seeing. Just kidding. So I got my day box here. This is removable. Try to do it with one hand. So underneath, fire extinguisher. Got some wiring in here. So it's cool that it's removable. One thing I will say is this is just a bin. You know, one thing about my Skeeter that I did like is my day box bin actually had like an organizer inside of it. This does not. This is just a straight up bin. So I wish there was some kind of organizer for the day box. It's just me just piling shit in there, and it becomes a mess. As you can see, it becomes a mess quick. I'm gonna have to clean that out before I get the season started. Next, we're gonna go to one of my favorite parts of the boat. Storage, probably my favorite part of the boat. One of my favorite parts of the boat. So I don't have anything. I haven't really put anything in the boat yet, but except for some soft plastics. So tackle storage. You can't really tell from the video, but I literally, 2 people my size could lay down in this thing and go to sleep. I mean, that's just how absolutely massive this storage, this tackle storage is. This has the sliding tackle tray. So if you see this, so let me see if I can do this with one hand here. Put it down. There we go. All right, so just unlocked it. Look at that. That is such a cool feature. I mean, look at all this, storage, 3,700 boxes. One thing that did just bum me out is I got that BKK OCD hook, basically that hook box, and it does not fit in these. So I'm gonna have to try to figure something else out with that. A con to this that happened to me immediately. So as you can see here, I had to finagle a little something. This is just like a striker plate for a door, because my son didn't latch it, and I didn't notice it before I made a run on the boat. And so this thing, as I was running, was just kind of sliding around, with the motor and everything going. I couldn't hear it. I couldn't tell. And it was actually smashing up against here, and it actually broke the plastic. So I had nothing to latch onto. So I just quickly, made that with that striker plate, and that's like where I'm at right now. So hopefully, from what I heard, iKon has made that a little better, beefed that up a little bit. That was kind of like my first complaint with the boat when I did get it. It wasn't really an issue until it actually happened to me. But yeah, that was a little frustrating. But I was able to fix it pretty quick. But yeah, I mean, we have all the storage here. I mean, holds 3,700 boxes. With this, I put a lot of the plastics I use most often in there. I mean, it's got, slots. I could put anything from sunscreen to, to scent sprays and everything. I mean, I have my markers here, has 4 spots for scent markers, all kinds of other things. My thump gel, I'm going to put in those. And, yeah, it's just being able to hold this many 3,700 boxes and then still have storage under there for whatever, like the stuff that apparently fell out when I was driving. It's just an insane amount of storage just here in this, in the tackle storage. So I love that. Again, the only con was the sliding tray there and that piece breaking on me literally like the first week I owned the boat. But next thing, one thing that's really cool, another thing that's really cool about this boat that iKon did a really good job with. So got my console here, and there's actually some storage in here. Okay, so I just have my remote for the trolling motor, some Jigs and Bigs stickers for when I see people, and then I put I'll put like my scale, my Bubba scale and stuff in there. But I'm not a mechanic, so this wasn't a big deal for me. But when I brought this boat down to some people I know that work on boats, this was a huge deal for them. Let me show you. So this right here actually comes out, and I have all the access to the console electronics from here instead of having to crawl up underneath the console. 90% of it is accessible right here in the back of this boat. And it's just, iKon just does a really great job at making everything just clean. All the wiring super clean. I mean, I don't mess with that stuff, but even for me, I could, if they gave me some kind of schematic, if I had to adjust something, fix something, or add something, I'm fairly confident that I could at least figure it out. So good on iKon for that. That was a great idea. Makes life easier for those that, doing work, swapping out electronics at the console and all that. That's pretty much the front of the boat. Might have missed something, may not have. Again, huge deck. I didn't cover the rod holders. Rod holders are good. It's a friggin' rod holder. It's pretty standard on every boat, but they are retractable, which I like. So now we're kind of start going over the cockpit and stuff. So first things first, right here, the normal. I still have some baits here from last year. tool holders. I mean, plenty of tools, spots to hold your tools. Right here, you have your ruler, to verify that, your fish are of length for when you're in the unfortunate predicament of catching dinks in a tournament. You got to ensure that they're even big enough. But another great feature and great option, it's not even an option, it's standard for at least the LX, is this is a cooler. So I don't know the science behind coolers by any means. It's a little dirty in there. It needs to be cleaned out a little bit. But massive cooler, and whatever, I mean, I have Yeti coolers, I have Arctic coolers. This thing keeps ice just as long as those do. I mean, I've come out here a couple days later after putting ice in here, and it's still in there. So whether it's like that vacuum material, again, I don't know. I don't know the science behind it. It just does a great job at keeping your stuff, your drinks, whatever, cold. Got the little net here. You can put stuff you don't want to get wet or be directly on ice in there. But again, it's just huge. I love that thing. Great feature. I use it all the time. And I can get ice the day before. If I don't want to stop and get ice like on the way to a tournament or on the way to fishing, I can get ice the day before, stick it in there, and it's still going to be fine the next day, which is awesome. I don't have to worry about it completely melting or really melting at all. So that's your cooler. For this boat, my Skeeter, I had a passenger console. I do not have that, obviously, on this one. I do have there is the option to get a removable one, but to be honest, after having the passenger console and then not having it, I like the room of not having it much better. My kid, my wife hate the fact that I don't have it because they have nothing that blocks the wind. Same for any co-anglers I may or may not get, but I like not having the passenger console. So here you have your co-angler rod spots that they can put their rods in. A little foothold here. There's actually for your co-angler, they actually have the ability to charge. If they're running cameras, phones, or if they have brought a phone charger, just something to peg their rods down with there, so they don't go flying. I got this little the tray right here. I tend to just throw like baits I've already used or I take off or whatever, so they're not just getting tossed back in the water or whatever. Drains, so you don't have to worry about it just collecting water. Another cool feature for both the passenger and the driver, which is pretty cool, is these seats are adjustable back and forth. So these move up, move back. And, so if someone wants to kind of lock in their feet here and really hold on to these old shit handles, depending on their height, they can move this seat front or back to just get a little bit more comfortable, which is pretty cool. The seats themselves, so I will say they are super comfortable. They are soft. They help you absorb the rough waters pretty well. They're also basically cooling seats, as I call them. So these things, doesn't matter how long they stay in the sun, they do not get burning hot to where they're going to burn the back of your legs when you sit or even your back or anything like that. I can attest that that's exactly how they are. My Skeeter seats would burn the hell out of me sometimes. And these just, the way they have these made, the way they have these built, they just don't do that. And it's just a really cool feature. And they're super soft, soft touch, they feel good. I will say, I wish they kind of did it with the new VLX seats, but I kind of wish that these were more sporty and they kind of came up a little bit more and locked you in a little bit better. That's just my opinion. Other than that, these seats are super comfortable. Same thing, your adjustment knobs right under there. Same thing for the driver. Same seat. I have short legs, so I can move that seat front and back to get a little bit more comfortable with it on that hot foot. So next we have, you just have your center storage here. your cockpit storage. So I don't even know what the heck I have in here from last year, registration stuff, but some fizzing kits. But you know, this is just standard. You know, I just hold a bunch, you know, my registrations, my just some extra cords for cameras and whatnot, fizz kits. I got a little net in there, light. Pretty standard center storage. Oh, looks like my dogs are about to chase the chickens. Hey. All right. Anyway, so let's get into the actual cockpit itself. Get into the driver's seat here. Magic happens. So, standard wheel. We're going to talk about, you know, I got my blinker switches, TH Marine blinker switches, jack plate motor. Little quirky thing I noticed on my Skeeter when I had it. So both my blinker switches said jack plate. So, and they were done opposite of what they typically are. So the motor was over here and the jack plate was over here. So it screwed me all up for like the first month I had that boat. But let me show you the smart center, let's say, the intelligence center. So here, a lot of times you have to go into the back of the boat and, you know, turn all your power on, and, you know, then you can kind of come into and do your work here. But so here is actually, this is the power button for the boat. So that is going to, pushing that button makes the switches in the back turn automatically. Let me see if I can show that to you guys real quick. All right, so you see there that just by flipping that switch, those power switches automatically go on. Great feature. Couldn't tell you how it works or the mechanics around it, but I love that feature. So let's get back into the into touch. So I'll be 100% honest, I was a little apprehensive about the touch screen. Didn't have that on Skeeter. Everything was analog, but Skeeter's now has gone to a touch screen for 2025. So speed, you know, I got my voltage, water temp when I'm in the water, essentially how many gallons of fuel you have left, your trim, your RPMs, and then, you know, I go into here. I can, these are all my live well settings. I have the fish IV system in this. I'll talk about a little bit more. So if I hit that, it's going to put the G juice or whatever, you know, IV system I have into the live well automatically. You know, I can fill the port, recirculate, chill. I can chill the live well water. Again, I'll talk about that in a little bit. I got my pump out. And so I put these settings on here. And like I talked about earlier, up on the bow, I put those settings in, and then I just, it is not 20 degrees, by the way. But so I put those settings in here, and I hit that, and it's going to do exactly what I need to. So, you know, I have your auto, and then your manual, and that's how your live well works. So again, I can kind of turn on and off my electronics from right here. My hull and my bow, you know, I have my pump out. This is going to be my fan system that's inside the boat to, you know, if things get damp. I don't remember what that is. I'm going to have to look that up. I don't remember what that setting is. I totally forgot. Same thing with this one. So start report, it's got to be some ventilation in the seats or something I didn't even know about. I've never even hit those buttons. Anywho, feel a little stupid with that, but I got to look and see what those buttons mean. All right, probably an option I don't even have, no my luck. But there you go. So this is going to tell you your position of your motor on the jack plate. And then, you know, like I said, the trim, position of the motor on the jack plate. Kind of pretty much it that I have or use on here. I mean, then you just have, you know, your stuff like your voltage, your cranking battery, your fuel amount. that's going to be your lighting. So your live well lighting, your, nav lights, courtesy lighting, etc. Let's see. And then we already went through that. And then I don't have the music system on here. But cool thing is I can... there's a lot of different, I'm not going to get into it, but there's a lot of different types of settings I can do on these. I can set the digital switches. I can, I can change what I want here versus, I just, if I want, voltage or whatever to be in these positions, that, you just kind of hold it and I can pick what I actually want to be seen there, whether it's water temp, temperature, etc. I got standard throttle, but I got the hot foot. I got my, your drain plug. I have a 12 volt in here. Sorry, the live well and drain plug. And then down here, I got my key, auto bilge, bunch of electronics, a bunch of cords still down here. I got a little storage here, kill switch, standard. Don't leave home without it. So also over in here, if for some reason something goes on my screen, I can do everything that I was doing over there from this position as well. So just, your standard button analog stuff, just in case for some reason this fails. 212s, both Humminbirds. I'm a big Humminbird guy. It's cool because these talk to my Humminbird up front. So whether it's mapping or I can actually, if I have a or if I'm just kind of sitting here, I can actually see the Mega 360 as well. All right, let's go to the back of the boat. So first thing I'm going to show you, live well, kind of a, normal typical live well. However, very similar, I guess, to Vexus. This live well actually fills up all the way to the top. So it prevents, I won't say prevents, but helps with, the water sloshing around and the fish don't move around as much, get dinged up if you're on rough waters, stuff like that. So right side, let me show you the other side here because there's something I want to show you. All right, so, well, that's not good. That's not supposed to be off. Put that back in. So right here, this is your chiller plate, or my chiller plate. So this is supposed to cool down the water on hot days. I'm going to be 100% honest with you. I could have done without it, and I'm going to show you why. It might lower the water, a degree or two, but it's not like dropping your 80-degree water down to 60. It just doesn't do that. It more just keeps the water temp consistent. Might drop it a few degrees. And what you lose with that, I'm going to show you here. So what you lose with that is space, storage space, because as you can see, instead of having more storage, I have a compressor in there. So I lose a ton of storage. In all honesty, I'd rather have that storage than the chiller, especially being up here in New England where that's not a huge deal for us, having to, keep the water temperatures low. So let me just move this real quick. All right, so there's your live well, and right up in here, let's see if I can show you. Where is it here? Oh, I'm on the wrong side. So here, there it is. So if you can see it here, this is where your fish IV, or for me, it's G-Juice. When I hit that button, it comes in here, squirts into the live well tank. You can do it you can do it manually. You can set it to do it, I don't know, once an hour or whatever. You can pick how much you want to go in there as well. So it's pretty convenient, especially, I use that stuff all the time. So I like having that there. The other side, from where my compressor, standard storage, super deep, holds a lot of stuff. My first aid kit and everything in there because I tend to hurt myself when I'm out in the water. yeah, so again, the big thing for me, you know, back here with these compartments, I just wish I didn't lose so much space with the with the uh with the compressor. All right. Last part of the boat or inside the boat, the bilge area. So I'm going to tell you right now that this is by far the nicest, cleanest, well built, most organized one on the market. No other brand can compare it. I will argue it all day long. Let me show you. Let me show you how clean it is back here. I mean, this is straight from the factory. It's just so big, so clean back here. I'm running, and I'll show you the other side, but I got two 12 volt 125 amp hour Ionics back here. So these have, so these are the switches that we're talking about that go on automatically. I can manually do it if I want, but they are auto. Obviously, you know, I got all these here. So this is, you know, basically just all kinds of stuff. Basically your breaker box essentially for all that stuff. And Coda Precision. I'll be honest, I had that on my last boat on my Skeeter. I ended up changing to the Ionic one because the Minn Kota Precision blew on me while I was down south for a tournament, and I had to literally charge each battery individually with a trickle charger. That was not fun, so I'm hoping I don't have that issue with this one, but we will see. Here, so I do have these switches here that obviously power up the boat, but these are strictly for my bow electronics, for my console electronics. So, you know, I cut those, I shut those off every time. That, you know, saves from essentially any juice, you know, depleting while the boat is off. So I'm hoping I might turn the light on this thing. Hold on a second, see if it might help. So got bilge area. This doesn't typically 99% of the time, because of that tunnel system, or that, I'm sorry, that over in here, the channel system, I'm sorry, no water ever gets into the back of this boat. Very rarely, you know, if it's a heavy rain, or if for some reason the boat is sitting a little high on the trailer or whatever, that water might get into there. But other than that, water does not get in there. It's clean. It's I just can't say enough good things. I mean, I don't work back here. I hire people to do it because I'm just not very mechanically inclined. But it's just so easy to work with. It's so clean. You know, that comes from, you know, iKon basically being born from a yacht company. It just, nobody can compare. Nobody compares with the craftsmanship, the cleanliness of the wiring and all that. Even back here, so I have 3 more Ionic batteries here, all 12 volt 125 amp hour. So that is where I put my G-Juice or my fish IV, whatever I use for the fish IV system. And that's pretty much it. You know, just some extra cable for the power poles. Again, I can kind of see it back there. I mean, this goes super deep. Down there's your bilge pump, if you can see it. And it's just, again, I can't, in comparison to my Skeeter, it's night and day. I mean, that's just such a much cleaner area. Just better organized. The fact that you never get any water in it, or very rarely get water in it, is just phenomenal. I love it. It's clean. I could fit another 125 amp hour battery back there if I wanted to or needed to. No problem at all. Might be one of the probably the best part of the boat that you don't think of. And yeah. So my final assessment, I'm going to be honest, I absolutely love this boat. I'm in love with this boat. I haven't talked the performance, nor really am I. But what I will tell you, and I They made it quite clear when I bought this boat, it is not fast. This is not a fast boat. I'm lucky to get mid 60s, to be honest, especially fully loaded gas and everything. There are some things you can do to try to get a little bit more out of it that I'm working on. For instance, they talk about putting a wedge in between the motor and the jack plate, like a 2-degree wedge, putting ballast bags if you're running lithiums, which I am. So I'm going to work that. So I guess that would be the first con would be it's just not as fast as my Skeeter was. And where 90% of the places where I fish, it's not a big deal. But when I do go down south for tournaments and whatnot, I wish I had an extra few miles per hour. Second con that I can think of is what I said before, the tackle tray, not having, a stronger system to latch that thing in. From what I heard, they have worked or are working to make that better. So that's good. I was able to kind of finagle fix it. So it wasn't too big of a deal for me, but it was a little bit annoying. 3, these boats are expensive. And when I mean expensive, when I say expensive, I mean expensive. When you get into the LX, you're running well north of $100,000, sometimes into the 150 and above. I'm not going to say what I paid for mine, but I was well north of the $100,000, ticket price. Is it worth it? I think so, because I think this is the best built boat out there right now. I think the quality is the best out of any boats out there. I will argue that with anybody. A great warranty, the build. I mean, it's just like everything from like the wiring and just like the meticulous, just the little things that they do that just make it clean that other boat companies or brands just don't think about. And man, and I guess my last con, if I had one, would be that compressor just taking up the storage. That just kind of stinks. I hate losing that storage, but this boat just came with it, so I'm not going to screw with it, take it out or anything like that. There's a ton of storage in this boat, so it's really not a big deal. But I guess that would kind of be my last con. But that's it, guys. That's my LX21. Again, final assessment. I am in love with this boat. It's a phenomenal boat. I could see myself being an iKon owner for many, many years. This is a completely unbiased, video. I have no sponsor. I'm not sponsored, anything. I don't work with iKon. It's just, I took a chance at getting a boat brand that was very new. And I'm glad I did. Well worth it. And I plan on being an iKon owner for a very long time. All right, so that's it for this video. Please do me a favor. Please like the video. Please subscribe to the channel. It helps growth. It helps get the videos out there. I'm trying to do better doing more videos. Leave me comments of videos you want to do. If there's anything in particular on this boat that you want to see. If you're thinking about going and looking at the iKons, if you're thinking about buying one, reach out to me, shoot me a comment here or reach out to me on Instagram, TikTok, American Vet Fishing, same name, and I'll be glad to answer any questions. So again, thank you guys. Please like, please subscribe, and we'll see you next time.